Hey, this is Lance with 20-Sided Knight, and today we're answering the question, what is ranged combat? Before we get into the nitty-gritty of ranged combat rules, I want to ask that you stick around to the end of this video to learn how to be entered into this month's giveaway and what that is. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends as it's a huge help, and if you want to see future giveaways and see the channel grow, it's really the biggest way to make that happen. I've often seen ranged combat take center stage in Starfinder as opposed to games like Pathfinder or D&D, and for good reason. The rules are fresh and more diverse than shoot arrow, and the various types of firearms seem more fitting to the sci-fi setting, and attacking from range is a great way to stay out of the danger zone of most creatures while giving players a chance to think tactically instead of simply rushing headlong into combat. But you gotta know the rules of the range before you start shooting, and this video will help with that. Probably the most important stat for any ranged combatant is a high dexterity. This determines the accuracy of your ranged attacks, but it's important to note dex does not usually increase the damage of ranged attacks, unlike in other games. In general, to determine your ranged attack bonuses, you'll add your base attack bonus, determined by your class or classes if you're multi-classing, your dexterity modifier, then any class features or other benefits you picked up as you level up later on down the road. A ranged weapon's damage is typically calculated based on the weapon's damage dice in its description and can be augmented with fusions, feats such as weapon specialization, and class features like the Bombard Soldier's heavy fire ability that stacks their strength modifier on top of their weapon's regular damage. I'm not sure how this works in a roleplay sense, and might be a bit of Orcus magic behind this. Probably some of the best things to pick up to increase your ranged combat effectiveness, aside from a high dex for feats, are the weapon specialization as mentioned earlier for extra damage, weapon focus for a bump to accuracy, and far shot to decrease the penalty of shooting past your weapon's regular range value if you really want to keep yourself out of harm's way. As for fusions, I like the frost weapon fusion as a lot of creatures in Starfinder are resistant to fire damage. It's relatively low item level fusion, and it seldom hurts to diversify your damage type to be sure you're not stuck ineffective against a creature who's immune or resistant to, say, piercing damage but not cold. Or what's your favorite weapon fusion for damage or for range type characters? Let us know in the comments down below. There are several feats, class options across all classes, spells, and upgrades that span across all character builds. So don't think you'd need to play the quintessential soldier in order to be viable in ranged combat. Feel free to mix things up and get weird with it. As long as you keep these tips on what helps and hurts ranged combat, you'll be fine. Ranged weapons have a lot of special weapon properties that can be found in the special section of the item's description. Be careful, some of these might be as much of a danger to your party as they are to your enemies. Weapons with the automatic function allow your weapon to expend the rest of its magazine, battery, or other source of gun food to affect all creatures in the cone, but reducing the weapon's range increment by half and being unable to deal critical damage. This can also potentially affect party members, so be careful which way you're aiming. Weapons with the non-lethal property are great for taking prisoners alive if your target is needed for future questioning, or you're playing a pacifist type but doesn't want to shy away from being somewhat useful in a combat encounter. These special weapon properties are wide-ranging, so we'll cover them in a separate video. Ranged weapons will usually have an optimum effective range listed in their item's description, and firing beyond this adds a stacking -2 penalty to attack rolls for each range increment past the first. This can be thought of as being unable to reliably hit a target at greater ranges, and the far shot feat could mean you spend more time at the range. This penalty is typically maxed out at 10 range increments or 10 times the number listed in the weapon's effective range. Be careful when making range attacks while being threatened by those in melee, as doing so may provoke an attack of opportunity. Just be careful of your positioning, and remember, when you're in range combat, stay at range. Important to learn but easy to overlook. Capacity is essentially your weapon's magazine size, and the usage is how much of that capacity is used with each shot. cover is, well, covered in the video linked above. Basically, depending on the cover you or your target is benefiting from, gains a scaling bonus to their armor class, starting from a lowly +2 from soft cover, all the way up to a massive +8 at improved cover, along with additional benefits. There are weapon upgrades like sights and scopes found in the armory that can help reduce the penalty from attacking enemies with cover, and sights have the additional benefit of reducing range penalties to a degree. Creatures with total concealment usually cannot be attacked with range attacks directly. Creatures with only partial concealment can be targeted with range attacks normally, with a few special penalties, including a +20% mischance. The specifics of these penalties are gone into in more detail in our What is Concealment video linked here. That about covers the basics of ranged combat in Starfinder. If you feel we left your favorite part out, drop a comment down below, and please share this video with your friends, as it's the best way to make sure we grow. Now on to the real reason you listen to me struggle to read this script. Free stuff! We're giving away a copy of the Starfinder core rulebook to get you and your friends into this game. To be entered, all you have to do is drop a comment down below talking about your favorite type of encounter and share this video. We'll pick our favorite comment and let the winner know how to claim their entry. Thanks again for watching 20 Sided Night, and bye for now.